Hey guys, this is James from Discord. We've got a pretty good foundation for the track now. The next thing we want to do in this part is take you through chopping up a vocal and turning it into a lead sound and making a main hook for the track. So Sonic Academy were kind enough to provide us with this acapella, which is what we're going to use. So just play that on its own to start with.
We'll burn like the sun.
So straight away, as soon as I heard that, the first thing I noticed, there was like, there's a nice long sustained note there. That'll be really good for making a chop, because you know you can use anything. You know, you can like just play with whatever, but it's quite nice for it to have at least a little bit of a sustained note on there. So you've got something you can loop, you can pitch how you want to pitch it. So yeah, straight away I was like, yeah, that's going to work. So this is going to be the main hook of the track. We're going to use the rest of the vocal as well in the breakdowns of the track, but this is going to be the main hook. So we're going to start from here. So first thing we need to do is get it in time with the track. So if it isn't already, I'm not sure how good Ableton's warped. It's not even warped, so it's not going to be in time. So let's turn the metronome on.
We'll burn like that. We'll burn.
So
We'll burn like the sun. We'll burn like the sun. We'll burn like the sun.
that sounded pretty good.
We'll burn like the sun.
Okay, and it's this bit that we're going to actually use for the chop. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just slice this. Basically, I'm going to get it so it goes over the drop here. So if you can imagine, it's like you've written your build up, and it's going to go.
We'll burn like the sun.
Okay, so I mean straight away you can hear it's out of tune, but it's in time now. So let's chop that there. Actually, I think maybe let's get the S before the. Okay, hold on.
We'll burn like the sun. We'll burn. We'll burn like the. We'll burn like the sun. We'll burn like the sun.
Okay, there we go. So I'm just going to chop that there. Then I'm going to insert a MIDI track. And all I need to do is drag that onto the MIDI track, and it's going to throw it into a sampler. Now, on this one, what I usually do with a vocal chop, what we usually do with vocal chops, is we will put them into, rather than a sampler, and that purely because of one thing, and that's pitch bend. So you know, with a lot of our sounds, we use a lot of pitch bend. It's quite important in getting attitude and, you know, a bit of modulation in the sounds. Basically, simpler just does +5, -5, and you can't change it. You can't do anything. So all you do is you right click and go simpler to sampler. There you go, done. So. So there you go. But now we've got that part of the vocal on a sampler, so we can start playing around with it. So the first thing we want to do is, you heard the vocal was pretty out of tune there. So let's get it so it's actually in tune, and that note is going to work on the with the sustained bass note of the 808. So let's go down a bit lower. Put it on Complex Pro. Use that a lot because, especially for pitch shifting vocals and stuff, with this formant, when it retains the formants, especially when you pitch down, it actually sounds better when you pitch up if you turn the formants down. But when you're pitching down, you lose a lot of high end normally, and this just retains the high end. So let's go down a bit.
Burn like the sun. We'll burn like the sun.
So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to loop that basically so that we can hear it over the bass, and I think that needs to go down another one. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. So let's use that. So get rid of that ending. And then what we also need to do then is on the sampler, we need to pitch this down 4 semitones. There we go. So now a C on the keyboard is going to be the same note as that. So okay, so what we'll do is
We'll burn like the sun.
oh, hang on, that's still, there we go.
We'll burn like the sun.
So I'm just gonna start messing about with a melody to try and get something going. So also that you hear that's it's got the so I'm just gonna get rid of that so that it's just a constant note. Okay, so let's just make that a bit shorter.
We'll burn like the sun.
Okay, let's go with that. I'm just going to record that in quickly. Okay, let's try that again. Obviously you can hear it sounds pretty dreadful right now, but we haven't put any effects on it yet. So, but that sounds pretty good to me. That's a pretty good start. So I'm just going to quantize that. Just make those a bit longer. Okay, that's a pretty good starting point, I think. So what we're going to do with that is, I mean, probably straight away, just to try and get it sounding a bit more interesting, let's get some distortion on it, basically, because distortion is always your friend. So let's go and let's get a saturator. Just turn the drive up a bit. So immediately it already sounds a bit better, but let's also do we want maybe some maybe a pitch envelope on it. I think maybe if we just go to pitch here. So that's another thing that I go to without thinking, because it just pretty much always sounds good on a vocal chop. So, you know, it's just one of those things, again, that you will learn gradually. So that sounds pretty good. I'm also going to just flatten out all of those velocities. Okay, that sounded pretty good. I'm going to throw in some pitch bends. So just where these long notes here, I'm just going to like pitch them down. So what I might just do is, the easiest way is I'm going to, because these are the same thing repeating, so I'm just going to do this one and then repeat it 3 times. So go into envelopes, pitch bend is already open, so I'm just going to go like this. I just realised I haven't actually set the pitch bend range yet. So here it is here. See, it's on +5. That's because that's what the standard setting is. So I'm going to chuck that up to 12, so that it goes a whole octave down. So much better. So let's get rid of those. I'm just going to copy that a couple of times. And then copy this as well. I think actually that could go a bit quicker. Okay, yeah, let's copy that. Okay, yeah, that sounds good. So what I'm going to do next is, in the next part, we're going to, so we've got a hook there. I'm happy with that hook. In the next part, we're going to go into the effects that we're going to put on that and doubling it with a few other layers to just add a bit more, make it a bit bigger sounding, a bit more, a bit brighter and a bit more exciting, basically. So yeah, join us in the next part and we'll make that sound fat.
If you like this course, why not head over to sonicacademy.com, where we have hundreds of complete track builds in every genre imaginable, including all the project files and samples. You'll also find tutorials on plugins and synths, mixing and mastering, over 250 tech tips, artist interviews, along with our award-winning plugins, samples and preset packs.